Implantable human chips hail the technology as a medical marvel, but critics warn that the potential risks are real.
Well, they talked about, for example, this thing is by no means inert. The way it works is it actually picks up and amplifies ambient electromagnetic energy from the reader devices. And if you have one of these things in your arm and you get within range of a powerful electromagnetic field, it can actually burn you.
Oh, and by the way, it can kill you if you get out of line. A closer look at the who and the why behind this idea.
All right, this next story may sound like something out of, well, a Hollywood thriller. A Saudi inventor has created a killer microchip. It's designed to track terrorists and criminals and, well, you can think of somebody. Not only does it include a GPS device, it also has a lethal dose of cyanide, which can be activated at any time. You get my point? The inventor's bid for a patent has been rejected in Germany. Joining us now this morning to talk about it, Jake Ward, deputy editor of Popular Science. Okay, this is pretty macabre, pretty sinister and nefarious. How exactly would this work?
Well, there's a category of technology that involves GPS tracking systems being shrunk down where you could actually implant it surgically. And we've seen a number of applications for this. This is without question the most sinister version of it that I've...
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that. Mark my for your tenure as
some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
It was actually Satan that does things invertedly. See, they're a bunch of Satanists. He's a Satanist. So was his father, Junior and Senior. They also killed Kennedy. They're a satanic group. Satan's the one that does things invertedly backwards. Let's reverse the order and see what. And see, that was when the plane hit. Must hit steel. See, those are steel beams surrounding that building. Big old huge steel beams. Plane must hit steel.
You're probably the best known builder, particularly of great buildings in the city. There's a great deal of question about whether or not the damage and the ultimate destruction of buildings was caused by the airplanes, by architectural defect, or possibly by bombs or aftershocks. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it was an architectural defect. You know, the World Trade Center was always known as a very, very strong building. Don't forget, that took a big bomb in the basement. Now, the basement is the most vulnerable place because it's your foundation. And it withstood that. And I got to see the area about 3 or 4 days after it took place because one of my structural engineers actually took me for a tour because he did the building. And I said, I can't believe it. The building was standing solid and half of the columns were blown out. And so this was an unbelievably powerful building. If you know anything about structure, it was one of the first buildings that was built from the outside. The reason the World Trade Center had such narrow
Look at them steel beams. Big, huge steel beams.
Steel on the outside. The outside of the building. That's why when I
Those are steel.
Big, heavy I-beams. When I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And
look at the size of those things.
You remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks? I think, you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been,
yeah, they wouldn't know plane.
I happen to think that they had not
it's
only
computer graphics. All this is controlled environment. They set this stuff up.
Imagine anything being able to go through that wall. built with the steelers on the inside around
But it's
the
just as the
elevator
scriptures explain it to be.
built from the outside.
There's a bunch of demons stuck down here with us. They got underground cloning facilities and everything.
Just like a can of soup. It just seemed to me that
You know, life is in the blood. The scripture says life is in the blood.
because you're talking about taking out steel.
Well, they can make a clone and stimulate it somehow to where you wake up in that clone. And they make a clone of someone. And not only that, they can wake up the next day in their real body and not even remember what all they had done to them. And they've been doing a lot of horrible things. Donald Marshall, check him out. He's actually telling the truth on a lot of what he talks about it, and much of what he's saying, because much of what he's saying is truth. Himself spoke. He knows. He spoke. What was it? Stop. Consider the person. Hear them out. Because I thought, no, I didn't see how they could match up with all the things the Lord had. He made things, but then later he showed me how.